Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Unification casts this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 3 vs 3 on Pavilion Heartlands. Playing on a northern team as the Force of Chaos, we've got Necrotechnica, we've got Kaiku as the Space Wolves, and we've got Carepain as the Steel Legion. On the southern team, we've got me as the Eldar, we have got Mortis as the Deathcore Krieg, and we have got Kuken as the Orks. So one thing I'm very excited about in this game is that this is the first time ever on this channel that we have seen the Space Wolves. So that's quite exciting. They're quite an interesting faction in the sense that they don't really need to capture all that much in the way of strategic points. You will see soon that Kaiku kindly donates a lot of his strategic points to his Chaos friend and colleague over here. A bit heretical, I know, but such is the way of the Space Wolfens. Are able to build up halls of knowledge, which is like their armory. It also gives them requisition and power. You can build 3 for every Chaos Gate that they have. And so, realistically, they can just, much like the Tyranids, just infinitely build up their own economy without having to worry too much about expanding. So it allows the Chaos player to get more resources without really hindering themselves, which is a very interesting concept. I don't know if these Space Wolves are built like it on purpose, but I do feel that they're a lot more viable in team games rather than solo games. After all, I mean, I don't really see them very often in solo 1v1 games, but in a team game, oh my goodness, the ability to donate your listing posts to other people is just, I mean, that's just crazy good, in my humble and honest opinion. Anyway, we've got the Deathcore Krieg pushing straight out over yonder to this critical location, although we'll just stand around and look at it for a little bit. There we go. Well then, Mortis, take that bad boy down. I assume that there's some sort of defensive structure will be placed. There we go, bunker. Do quite like the red, white and black. Quite nice. We have got a Iron Priest coming around over on this side. One thing that the Space Wolves can do with the Iron Priests is kind of just move their builders in and just basically steal some scrap from your listing posts and other various buildings, which basically allow them to give them like a bit of scrap, which they use for upgrading and stuff. Big also gives them like extra resources as well. So yeah, look, they're going to deep strike in, they punch the building and essentially take a big chunk out, and then, yeah, you can just see them go up. It's about 50 blue money. Couldn't quite count how much green money there was. But you'll know, you can rewind the video. You're smart and clever like that. And we'll be focusing on my plasma generators with the help of some Legionnaires with some grenade launchers. I've gone for the old Dark Reaper opening. Gonna go for a second Dark Reaper as well because I'm a piece of shit Eldar player and I don't know how else to play it. The only way I can really get involved in these kinds of games is just by playing broken factions. It's the only thing I can really do. Bunker now being finished over yonder.
Standing by.
Tech Priests of the Iron variety, looking to see if they can wait for me to get distracted before moving around the side and basically doing the same nonsense again. I will try and find them out though. Guardians, quite useful in Unification. Not to be poo-pooed in Tier 2 like in Vanilla. Have access to Warlocks with loads of different abilities. Have grenades, just like in the regular old game. The grenade is absolutely sick. Does a good job. Managed to kill one Tech Priest after they steal and nab some more stuff from me. Kaiku throws a big help. Oh no, dear, he goes down. Lovely bit of role-playing there. That's what we like to see. There we go. The resources have been defended for now. Pioneer Squad coming out. These tarantula turrets, absolutely lethal turrets. I think they're definitely one of the highest tier turrets in all of the game. So he's certainly going to be setting up shop there, going to keep me out of the northern side of the battlefield. Do quite like this flag. It's very, what is it, Nightmare Before Christmas-esque. Very nice. Also, they capture this critical location round over here. Don't believe that we've got the critical location victories on. We did want a big slugfest. Wanted to have a match where no one sits around and waits for other people to come to other people. We wanted a big old slapdown. Second Chaos Gate on the way. And we are going to see Tier 2 for the... not Iron Warriors, sorry, the Space Wolves. As you can tell with the little pink skull icon, that I think that's the 2 scrap resources that we need. Sure, boys. With their big mech. No big shooter on them, though. Will be spotted by a whole smorgasbord of chaos. These guys have just been going around capping everything and won't engage too much in combat. They've also popped some heavy bolter turrets up and stuff. So Northern team looking like that they're going to go for that late tier engagement. Got a Wolf Lord and some Grey Slayers being teleported in. In fact, more Grey Slayers on this side as well. Grenades being thrown, going to slow down these shooter boys just a little bit. But triple grenades before they teleport out of the road. A narrow defense there. If they didn't get out when they did, I imagine they would have taken a lot more casualties. Got Heretic moving in. Looking for some, I assume, some turret shenanigans. Shield Boy's going to try and hold up, but there's a lot of bolter fire to deal with. Also got some grenade launchers on these cultists as well. One thing I learned the other day is that the cultists do AoE damage with the grenade launchers that affects friendly units. Not sure if that's carried over in Unification. I was told by Kez that that's a Soulstorm thing, so I don't know whether it's carried on into Unification, but that's something interesting to keep in mind.
What does the Emperor need of me?
Do quite like the voice acting for the Space Wolves. Very Nordic. Gonna throw down some smoke, giving them a little bit of cover as more sneaky shenanigans teleport around the back. Looking for all that scrap metal. Got Slugger Boys over here. Trying to tie these guys up, but won't survive for long. Listing Burst over here from the Ork. Tier 2. Annihilated. And the Ork player is looking very vulnerable right now. We do have a Storm Chimera from Mortis coming in, which will certainly bolster the defences of the Shooter Boys. But I mean, Chimeras, yes, okay, they are vehicles, but against a load of armour, against a load of firepower, won't stand up for that long. So I have to be very careful with it. Do have... Oh, I'm being useful. I'm being helpful. Some Dark Reapers are coming in. And they are going to be engaging glorious range combat. Farseer in their ranks as well. Going to throw down a Mind War on the Wolfman as he gives a big wolf cry out. Because obviously that's what they do. Going to push them back ever so slightly. Can't contend with all this guide being cast on these Dark Reapers down here. Pushed back past the Rubicon. Storm Chimera getting lots of shots in. Do quite like the Mister on top of the tank. Adding to that firepower. You believe that is that's a Pintle heavy stubber. Gonna focus on that heavy bolter turret. Big mech tanking all the damage. Dark Reapers and the Farseer joining in this push. Iron Priest goes down. Chaos Lord not too happy about it. Let's see if we can get a good surround on that Storm Chimera. Gets a little swirling spin slash on its hide before it eventually gets out of there. Double Dark Reapers and shooters now replete with their big shooters. Absolutely caking that Chaos Lord in all the bad stuff. And there we have it. Push has been beaten back. Got a Dakka Jet on the way for the Orks. And we've got some Long Fangs now, armed with their missile launchers. And a Salamander Scout Tank. Oh, that's quite cute. I like that. Good against heavy infantry and vehicles. Dakka Jet. Probably one of the most lethal units that the Orks have in this patch of Unification. Many a debate about its viability, considering it's good against basically everything. We will certainly see a lot of the Dakka Jets in the Ork vs Imperial Guard, the Ork vs the Astra Militarum campaign we've got running on the Discord. Hell Talon being taken down, but this is a lot of Space Wolves to deal with. Salamander tank pushing a little bit too far ahead. Not the tankiest of tanks. Does fall foul to the heavy weapons platoon of Mortis. And there we go. We do also have the experience thing added to this game as well. So the longer a unit survives and the more damage and more kills it gets, the more upgrades it gets. I do believe it just affects health? Question mark? Alright, that's really obnoxious, Mr. Space Wolf Man. Let's have a look at the economies. 1, 4, 7, and 79. God, that's the longest woo I've ever heard ever. God, it's like Sex in the City, but worse. 80 and 60. And 133 and 50 compared to 161 and 79, 105 and 40, and 156 and 50. So no major discrepancies in the economies at the moment. We've got a bit of a standoff over here. We know full well that if I push over here, the Tarantula turrets will take care of my fighting forces. These guys can't really push over here because, well, I mean, they haven't got all that much. And they're also dedicating a lot of their tanks to fight over on this side. So that is a thing to keep in mind. Do have some invisible... What are you? Oh, you are some of my lads. What are you exactly? You are Shadow Spectres, good against vehicles. But at the moment, all the vehicles have decided to go back down south. So I picked the worst time to move them around. Some Chaos Rhinos from Necrocrow Technica going to be swanning into the base, narrowly avoiding these minefields. Oh, never mind, they actually do get slapped by the minefield. They're just going to come in. They see this huge defense over here and they think, no, we're not going to deal with any of that. So they're going to move straight into my base. Just as some swooping hawks are being researched. Got Wraith Lords with Bright Lances. The Bright Lances will certainly take down these Chaos Riders, no questions asked, but depends all entirely on what's inside them. I do believe that one Chaos Rhino is full of nothing? Question mark? Is this Chaos Rhino is... Are you full of something? Oh, you are also full of nothing. I imagine it was just to get those Iron Priests some vision to jump in and steal some stuff. I've started making some of my things cloaked with the Webway research. I know a big push from the Steel Legion. Chimera Assault variants. Salamander Assault Tank. And a good amount of Legionnaires. And the grenade launchers of the Legionnaires absolutely showing us why they are so lethal. Taking out a good amount of models right there. Wraith Lord being taken down, Lickety Split. Horror Squad teleporting around the backside. Focus firing on these Wraith Knights. Both Wraith Knights go down. Oh, sorry, Wraith Lord, should I say. Do have Swooping Hawks, good against basically everything, but very, very fragile. We'll take down those Horror Squads. Dakar Jet being moved around as well to offer some defensive support. It's much needed. I managed to take out all the Legionnaires. Our Pioneer Squad moving in. Horrors as well. Now with nothing in the vehicle department to fire at. Kind of lost for words, especially since all the buildings were infiltrated. Have a Chaos Rhino as well. Still not packed with any lads, just there to absorb some of the fire. And Orks coming in to help defend as well. While this is going on, we do have a push now coming from the northern side. Love this split of attention. As the Orks and the... Where the... Oh, it's just the Orks that are coming down to help. Yeah, as the Orks come down to help, these guys are now going to move in. And this is a lot of Space Wolves to deal with. Dark Reaper's been brought down to low numbers. Also got a Defiler moving in over here. Going to see this field headquarters been built up over yonder. And we'll decide to get some good slaps in on these Jaegers as they try and slice them down with their shovels. But way too much in the way of firepower for even a mighty entrenching tool to deal with. Does look like that this whole section will go down here. We do have some flash kits and some decent firepower from the Shadow Spectres to retaliate with. Another Wraith Lord moving in. Fire Dragons now finally online. Swooping Hawks don't seem to be doing all that much in the way of damage. But if we can take out these tanks, that should certainly bring us a lot of benefit into this engagement. Dark Reapers moving forward in between all these tanks. Looking like they're trying to get some close combat in there. Not sure exactly what they're doing. Probably some misclick from me there. Wraith Lord is going to go down, but the tank will also probably go down. There we go. Tank has been taken care of. And now it's just fire dragons against a mess of steel legions. I managed to hold off on this side. Do have a Malkador. And with all the guns you could possibly want in the world. Field headquarters have been finished. Defiler on its own. Oh no, it's not alone. It's got a Chaos Rhino transport to assist itself. Grey Slayers and Long Fangs using Smirk. We do have a big burner bomb in place, smack bang in the middle. There's a good amount of damage to those Grey Knights. Oh, Grey Slayers, sorry. Gotta love it when a burner bomb is used to full effect. Orks now coming in as well. Once again on the south side. We have a tank ace to bolster the assault of the Steel Legion player. Cairpain really bringing the pain, if you pardon the expression. Pop down a trench turret there. Do have a heavy bolter support squad as well. Double fire dragons though, really bringing the business towards Steel Legion tanks. We have some pioneers though, they are infiltrated. And they are just kind of hanging around over here, seeing what other shenanigans that they can get up to. Over on this side, a Chaos Vindicator is bringing some serious damage. Vindicators we've seen on this channel many a time before can almost one-shot units. In fact, actually, that whole squad of Dark Reapers, 3 models in that squad being wiped up by one shot there. Do have some minefields being plopped down from the field headquarters command centre. Also had some barbed wire somewhere there just to reduce the movement of these tanks. Chaos Predator adding to all the business, but will be killed it. And another burner bomb. Can I get a decent... Oh, look at that. Lord of mercy on my mortal soul. Taking out a good... what was that, like 10? 10 Grey Slayers, something like that. Also got some nuclear smoke coming from the Deathcore Krieg. And again, I do believe that this has a damage effect to anyone, including allies. And the Stomper, I would take a pride and place in the centre of the battlefield. Do have a Predator in fairness. Good against infantry and morale. Also quite like the turret on it. Oh, it bombs up and down like it's listening to some sort of DJ track. Well, the Stomper, yeah, that's going to be a big problem. It'll be very hard for the northern team to take down. And now it's our time to do a bit of counter assaulting ourselves. We do have in this Dark Reaper squad Morgan Ra, there we go, with his big Reaper cannon. We'll get a closer look of this model in a moment. But Frevna's been taken down more or less straight away. We do have a tank ace on the front lines, all the transfer turrets known to man. But we are going to try and push through. All the morale has been damaged here though. We also have Farseer Eldrad Ulfran as well, bringing out the big... He's got an ability where he's able to increase all the stats of anyone near him, but even the mighty Eldar, not much against all this firepower. Have a quick look at this dude's model while we're here. Do love the model, look at him. So sexy, it brings my frame rate down to half. Wow, look at that. Glorious stuff. Now, while this is going on, the Steel Legion Pioneer Squad has just stealthed all the way in here and popped down a couple of tarantula turrets, making my relic a little bit in the way of being feared. Taking out one listing post, we'll go for another one. I'm going to try and beat them back with... Oh, it's a Rune Priest. Quite fancy, isn't it? With his little wolf's head on. But yeah, the assault over here has been pushed back. All my big units are dead. While this is going on, we do have a big push going on. A Gargant on the front lines. I think the Stomper... Oh, the Stomper's over here. Being brought low to yellow health at the moment. But the push is real. Do have some Stormclaw Terminators there. Long Fangs as well, armed with plasma cannons and las cannons. And while these Gargants and these Stompers are huge units, need a little bit more in the way of support if they're going to break through. We do have double Malkadors in the Chaos base. Has certainly done some damage against these listing posts. Well, the Stomper is going to go down unless any repairs can come in for it. Gargant also looking less than brilliant. Legionnaires and Stormclaws working in unison. Legionnaires are going for their missile launchers, which are absolutely lethal. Same with their grenade launchers. They've just got some of the best infantry weapon add-ons. For something like a human squad that's relatively small. I mean, what's their maximum number is like 10? And their armor's not that amazing. But yep, the Gargant goes down. Amazing defense from the Northern team. I do believe that Stomper has also gone down as well. We did not see it, but that's a thing. Battle Wagon now equipping itself with all the rocket launchers in the world. Weird Boy as well, quite low on health at the moment there. And over here we've got just these Pioneers being a real pain in the backside. They're putting down emplacement charges, which are singular little mines, but from what I understand they do a lot of damage. And look at that already, bringing down a Wraithlord. Which we've seen, the Wraithlords haven't been doing much in the way of surviving this game, have they? One singular shooter boy, just vibing with the Eldar. Another push. Lots of Slugger Boys. In fact, infinite amount of Slugger Boys here. Just to provide a little bit of tankiness. Or cannon fodder, shall we say. These guys don't seem to have been rallied rather than air moved. Do have the Shadow Spectres opening fire, taking out the Long Claws, especially with the assistance of these Dark Reapers. With the Stormclaw Terminators, much harder to push over. Who are you teleporting in? Ah, it's more Stormclaw Terminators. And once again defending that push. But the Chaos playing a little bit more of a difficult time. I've gone for some Havoc squads and a big focus on these Hell Talons. Which it makes sense. I mean, these Hell Talons are good against vehicles and they're also able to move over this grassy or jungle ridge here. Allows them to support themselves and allies. Got some deep striking Stormtroopers. So I do absolutely love the teamwork from the Northern side. Choices of units picked specifically so that they're able to work together in an unholy matrimony. God, my frame rate's not feeling very pretty. I've put it on high graphics, completely forgetting about how big this game gets. I normally go medium on games like this. Hey ho. Dreadnought doing a little bit of a jump. It's quite exciting. And a gun wagon as well. All the tanks, all the units. Wolf Priest now out. Basically, he's the chaplain of the Space Wolves. And instead of a skull mask, what's he got? He's got a wolf-esque mask. And lovely little wolf pauldrons as well. Quite like. Stomper once again coming in, getting revenge for his fallen comrade. T-posing as he walks in, blasting the Dreadnought once again. For all the missile launchers in the world. And we do have, what are you? You are a Armageddon pattern Basilisk. God, that's a lot of firepower. That's a lot of Orks. Yeah, I assume that Q-Ken has gone for the infinite Ork upgrade. So now it's just a case of just spamming all the lads in there. Do have a Wraith Knight in the mix. Screaming to the high heavens. Looking to avenge his Stomper brother. He charges in, looks at this Dreadnought, gives him the big backhand, screaming to the high heavens. Which I'll be honest, I'm not too keen on the... I mean, yeah, okay, fair enough, the scream does like AoE damage around him, but it's kind of like, for every one strike he does a scream. And the... You know, it's a bit annoying. That's fine, we'll take it. Rift Knight just absorbing all the fire. Allowing everyone else to get into range. But I suppose in saying that, the AoE damage, even though it's happening a lot more than you think it would, in these tight infantry formations, certainly adding to the value. Yeah, Wraith Knight has been taken down. Still have a squad of cheeky pioneers just hanging around here, which I quite appreciate. And the Tarantula gun line ever expanding, preventing my dudes from getting down here. I've kind of had to keep a lot of lads down here just in case Steel Legion get any funny ideas. But an Avatar of Cain is going to come out to add to the general badness. Big stomp coming out from the Weird Boy. And some mega armored knobs. Just because, and look at this bad boy, we have got a Revenant Titan from myself. Guns as long as you like, ribbed for hair pleasure. And just watch at how this bad boy just deletes units. Summoning black holes. And look, that's just 2 black holes in one fell swoop. Also incredibly fast. For what it is. Do have a Storm Sword from Cairpain, which will do quite a good job against the Battle Wagon, but against the Revenant Titan, not sure what it'll do. A couple of strikes from that and it goes down. Stormblade also, this one of the plasma cannon variety, won't stand up all that well. I have mixed feelings about the Revenant Titan. It's very fun to play with, but how would one say? It does a lot of damage, and its Void Shield regenerates quite quickly. But I mean, it's got like 1,000, what, like 1,100 health, which I'm not sure for the DPS of this and the Void Shield, if that's kind of balanced at all. I wouldn't mind if the Void Shield was like quite chunky, but the actual health itself was remarkably small, and so it would just be like super fragile. Because I mean, the Revenant Titan looks like it should be fragile. I mean, with those slender legs, don't envisage it having the same kind of health as... I mean, it's... with its Void Shield and its regular health, it's got almost half the health of a Great Gargant, which is not what you'd expect. But hey, I like the way it floats. Yeah, Great Gargant. It's just like a Gargant, but super great. Well, yeah, we know the Space Wolves play it. Kind of GG'd out at that point. Saw the writing on the wall. And yeah, long story short, well, we are going to watch just a little bit of the epic last stands. One player down, all the Titans on the field. There's only one way this battle can really go. I do love these units, and in fairness, big old cigar on this tank. Opening fire on this Demon Prince, who is standing up pretty well to the fire. You can see more Hell Talons coming out. Big push now, Avatar of Cain being assisted by the Revenant Titan. So, well, it's got an ability where it's able to just increase its movement speed by like 50% or something and just zoom across the battlefield. It's able to be in all places at once, more or less. But yeah, feel free to call me a piece of shit Eldar player in the chat, I don't mind. Look at that, just instantly deleting all the Tarantula turrets as the Orks move en masse down over to the Steel Legion side. Great Gargant moving in. We do have the Steel Legion now decapping all this stuff. Could have made more use of this, to be honest. If they got their pioneers built up a little thing here without really making themselves noticed, they could have deep-stricken a whole load of deep strike troopers in the base and really pestered the Deathcore Krieg player while the push was going on. That might have been quite beneficial for them. But yeah, I must say, wonderful play by the Northern team especially. Just the way that they laid all their units together. The way that the Hell Talons and the Deep Strike Stormtroopers were able to make their presence known across the map. The way that the Space Wolves were able to give a lot more economy to the Chaos player they wouldn't otherwise normally have. But I mean, Southern teams, we did a good job too. Got a lot of assistance from the Orks in defending the south in the mid-game. The Death Corps Green using their very nice bunkers to gain an early edge on this side of the critical location. So yeah, if it isn't made clear by now, we, the Southern team, do win. We're now going to go around and mop up the remaining forces of the Steel Legion and the Force of Chaos. But yeah, if you enjoyed the game, £1 a month on the old Patreon does get you one extra game a week. Also, if you want to get involved in games like this, now we do have a Discord where you can just come along and play some games regardless of skill. If I could play a game, then the barrier for entry is quite low, in all honesty. Cool, man's been Mr. Landshark. Pleasure as always, never short. I will see you in a bit. Peace.